All right, hello. This is another matchup guide, this time for the Hogaak matchup. And well, bad news, this is a very, very tough matchup. And you have to have a lot of things go right for you to win. So the most easiest path to victory pre-board is to play at Delver turn 1, and it's kind of like in a rugby match. You just given the ball, or how's the rugby thing called? I don't know. You give him the ball and say, run as fast as you can. And the rest of the deck is here to protect him. So, and hopefully this will cross the finish line. So you play the Delver and disrupt their enablers and hope they stumble hard enough to cross the finish line. If you don't have Delver, things are very hard, especially pre-board, because Young Pyromancer is a way to create a big board, but it's on the ground, and their creatures line up kind of, yeah, they also create a big board, and their board is normally strong, especially when they have Hogaak, but also Vengevine can be problematic, and zombie tokens, etc. Well, so this is I think a corner case plan, but you sometimes have to go for it because you don't have the Delver. Arcanist, which is normally in all matchups great, is also good, but still, if you are not able to create an advantageous board position, then you're still going to lose even if you connect a couple of times with it. And the last thing, Oko can out the Hogaak or the Alta, I guess. But the problem is normally you don't have a good enough board to defend it afterwards. So this only works if you somehow have maybe a Pyromancer and 2 tokens before, so you can protect this and somehow ride it to victory. For me, a little bit corner case. Delver is your best plan, I think. Okay. So what happens post-board? My sideboard is not set up very good against it, but you have some graveyard interaction. And I saw some guides not bringing in Clothes, which I partially agree on, but still Clothes can do work against them, especially if you prevent their early setup, like countering the first spell, then maybe let the second resolve, but still this might do work. I'm unsure on Clothes, but for me it did work sometimes. So I bring it in. Surgical is also not great because they have a lot of stuff going on in the graveyard, and you always wish to surgical them 2 or 3 times. This would be a card which I would say is good against Hogaak if you could surgical them 3 times in a row. So other than that, I don't think, yeah, Submerge can be good because they play out a bio normally, and then you can delay 1 threat. Okay, Force of Negation is not great because they only have Careful Study. Against the build which has 4 color like a Careful Study and Faithless Looting, maybe you should keep forces in them, but they board out Altar sometimes, and also 2 for warning is not great against them, as they will shred your hand with Couple Therapy, Yeah, I'm not fond of force. Chain lightning can deal with the Hedron grab, but you have to make room for something because drawing too many bolts is pretty weak because you don't want to bolt their Gravecaller or their Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, it's fine, but not super fine, I guess. And then I bring out one Oko. Because he's only good in corner cases where you already have a board and he's clunky, you need to interact early. And last but not least, I bring out one cantrip because you need a strong hand anyway. You can't do cantripping for the first 2 turns. So this is my plan. You need strong hands to win or them mulliganing, which is happening. But if they keep 7 3 games, you're not going to win the match normally. They need to stumble somehow. I also thought about bringing out Wastelands, but it's fine versus the Dryad Arbor sometimes and making them stumble. But on the draw especially, I think Wastelanding is not where you want to be, but I'm unsure what you can change. Maybe keep Chain Lightning in. Yeah. Unsure as is it's always a dream to find a good plan against a unfavorable matchup, but this setup, I think it's hard. Okay, so this is my guide on Hogaak. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.